Question 1, owning a home provides the following. A, financial stability and tax benefits. B, freedom to personalize your living space. C, a great long-term investment. Or D, all of the above.
D.
D.
Okay, got some A's, we got some B's, we got some D's.
D's.
The right answer, D,
D.
all of the above. Financial stability and tax benefits for sure. Freedom to personalize your living space. You could paint it, wallpaper it, graffiti it, Sharpie it, whatever you want. It is a great long-term investment. If you buy right and you hold it, real estate so far has been the most secure investment going. So yes, D is the right answer, all of the above. Thank you. Question 2, true or false? True or false? You must put 20% of your target's home purchase price on a down payment.
False.
False.
False. False, correct. You can put as little as 3% down. I also want you to keep in mind that your lender has a lot to do with what you can afford and what your rate is. So big, huge thing here. That is a falsehood. You don't have to put 20% down. Question 3, true or false? This is the ideal process. Know your credit score. Save for a down payment and closing costs. Get pre-approved with a mortgage lender, our trusted Gene Shapiro, the Mortgage Hero. Work with a trusted realtor. I always recommend me. Find a home that suits your lifestyle and get a home inspection. True or false?
True.
True. This is actually the ideal process. You want to have a rough idea of your credit score. You do want to save for a down payment and closing costs. You don't have to know what those are. Definitely getting pre-approved or at least having a conversation with a lender, knowing what your affordability is. You may have in your mind, I only want to spend X dollars. The mortgage person may say, listen, you're qualified for way up here. And then you have a conversation to adjust that. Working with a trusted realtor for sure. Finding a home that suits your lifestyle and getting the home inspection, as we all know, we knock it out of the park with that. Question 4, true or false? Selling your home can easily be done by yourself.
False.
False.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I trained you so well. That is incredibly false. Let me tell you why. Selling your home is not easy. Not if you do it by yourself, not even if you use a realtor, not even if you use an attorney. It's a one of the more litigious contracts you can get into in your life if you're selling the home. It's not easy because how are you going to vet all those buyers? How are you going to advertise? How do you know if these people are real? How do you get proof of funds? As a person who's private selling their home, you actually can't ask, I need to see your proof of funds. I need you to send me bank statements. I need you to send me the DU for the mortgage guy. No. So yes, correct. Number 4, false. Question 5. Now you really got to put your thinking caps on. Using a realtor to sell your home will A, put less money in my pocket. B, put more money in my pocket. C, put more money in my pocket with less headaches. Or D, none of the above, because realtors are the worst.
C.
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 Actually, C. C is the answer. Here's why. When you use a realtor, you generally will put between 10 and 12% more in your pocket. So B could be correct, but if you RTFQ, as my professor would say, RTFQ, read the full question, it puts more money in your pocket with less headaches because the realtor is the licensed person that takes on all the liability for vetting the buyers, getting through all the paperwork. So yeah, C is the right answer. Question 6. All realtors are the same. A,
No.
yes, anyone who has a license will do a good job.
No.
B, my cousin's friend, the vet tech, they sell part-time, they know what to do. C, I only use a licensed realtor.
Yes.
Or D, all of the above.
C.
C.
C, that's correct. I only use a licensed realtor. Now, that's not to say that your cousin's vet tech who sells part-time doesn't know what they're doing. They may. And people who get a license are not always full-time. Sometimes they have to start somewhere and they want the security of that part-time job. So if they're a licensed realtor and you ask the right questions on the interview, generally you'll get the right realtor. Anyone who has a license may do a good job, but only a realtor is held to that higher standard, that ethical higher standard, okay? 7, buying real estate is for everyone. A, no, renting is best. B, yes, everyone should own. C, everyone should leave the rat race and buy a yurt. D, it depends.
It depends.
It
Depends.
That's right. It was a trick question. It does depend. Buying may not be for everybody. It may also not be for everybody at the same time. Should you own a property? I mean, yeah, if you can, and if it's in your budget, and if it's in the right thing, and you're not running around the earth trying to, move around. So sure. Should you leave a rat race and buy a yurt? I'm a kind of a big fan of that, but that's also very dependable. I mean, that depends on the person. It's person dependent. So yeah, D, it does depend. Question 8, and this is our final question for all the dollar bills, Stephanie. How do realtors get paid? How do realtors get paid? A, from the seller at closing. B, from the buyer at closing. C, from the proceeds of the sale at closing. D, from the broker. E, all of the above.
All of the above.
C.
C.
B.
C.
C.
Stephanie?
Oh, A. I'm sorry. A.
Okay, Steph?
You can write into your contract who pays what.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So we're going to go from E, all of the above. And here's why. And here's something you may not know. If you don't have a buyer, you don't have a sale. So technically, the buyer coming to the table, yes, you get paid from the proceeds of the sale. It does usually, rule of thumb, come from the seller's side, their net proceeds. So A and B, technically correct. From the proceeds of the sale at closing, also technically correct. If you don't know this, a realtor, a real estate agent cannot get directly paid. You have to get paid from a broker. You can't Stephanie Taylor can't just buy a house and then hand me a check for 10 grand. She can't. It has to go through my broker. And if you look at my little graphic here, when you get paid, it goes like this. The money comes in from the proceeds of the sale. I bought a buyer to the seller, or I have a seller and you brought me a buyer. So from the net proceeds of the sale and a general contract rule of thumb, that's how the agent gets paid, from the proceeds of the sale at closing, whether it's buyer or seller, but you need both to have that. So technically right, comes from the broker. So when the check goes to my brokerage, for example, the broker gets their cut, my tax guy gets his cut. I have to then take that other piece that's left over and pay for everything I put out and laid out in front. The pictures, the fees, the advertising, I pay for my health insurance. Once all the dust settles, you're left with what the agent actually gets at the bottom. Now, something fun and something I want to touch on that Christy said, it's absolutely true. There's a lot of times the realtor will do a ton of work at no cost because the realtor only gets paid if a property closes, generally speaking, without going into the contracts and litigation and things like that. Generally, if the property doesn't close, realtors don't get paid. Upfront cost for the realtor, if you have the right agent, advertising, marketing, which is basically advertising, professional photos, none of those cell phone photos, professional photos. So all that gets laid out in front, and then I reimburse myself at the end.